Welcome back, everyone. So I went ahead and got everything in the trunk area cleaned out, which I said I was going to do in the last video, but I just didn't get around to doing it. So today, the plan is to get the rear bumper off and the back glass, and then we're going to work on the front, getting the grill out and getting the fenders off, getting the hood off, hopefully, and also the trunk lid, so we can bring them on inside to the shop. And start cleaning everything up. I really want to see how much more rust I find. I'm not really finding, a whole lot. Pretty much everything that I showed y'all in the first video is all that I found. But you don't know until you start cracking her open. So I'm going to go ahead and get all my tools set up, everything I need to start making this happen, and we'll go from there. So I'll be right back in just a second. Welcome back, everyone. So we made a little bit of progress here. As you can see, we got that rear bumper off. Went ahead and got that old trunk lid off. And luckily for me, because of how professional this previous owner was with his handy custom work, that back glass was barely holding in. He basically took, might be kind of hard to see, but looks like he just took some gasketing material, get her to hold herself in place there. So that's gonna be a little bit of cleanup work for me. We're gonna go ahead and get that fuel tube out. And I went ahead and fired up the old compressor, start blowing everything out. Found a couple spots that was holding some water, but it hasn't rusted through yet. Started to, but hasn't made its way really past the surface. So we're gonna go ahead and keep clearing all this out before moving on up to the front end. And once I make a little bit of progress, I'll join back up with y'all and we'll go from there. See you in a bit. Welcome back, everyone. So we made a little bit of progress, as you can see. I did run into a couple of issues that I'm going to have to address. The mounting bolts for the bumper are just spinning. So I'm gonna have to come up with a solution for that. And got to come up with the solution for that. I'm probably just going to cut it because I really, really want to get these front fenders and this bumper off today. So I can always buy new mounting bolts because, as you can see, he's already hodgepodged this together. I'm finding a lot of pieces that are missing, a lot of bolts and screws that are just unnecessary to be missing. Like the grill, for instance, he only had like half the screws in it, which makes no sense. If you dropped one, just pick it up and put it where it belongs. But that's where we're at. So I'm going to go ahead and get the old spinny disc and the old 2PE on, and we're going to start grounding on her. Be back in a second. All right, well, let's try and get these fenders off now, huh? All right, guys, we're gonna try that again since I dropped the old phone down on the floor. So every time I think that I've found every bolt that I need to get this fender off, I find more. So we're gonna go ahead and zip her off with some power tools. Make quick work of her. Oh yeah, I think there must be maybe one more holding her on, and it's hiding from me. So let's go ahead and start looking for her. If I have to take a guess, I'm probably going to need a Frankenstein contraption of extensions to reach wherever the bolt is. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can figure out exactly where this last bolt holding this fender on is, and then I'm going to go ahead and zip her off. Be right back. Welcome back, everyone. So as you can see, we got this one off. Took way longer. I got way dirtier than I thought I was going to, but man, that's a lot of work. So well, I guess you really can't see it because there's like a stud on the fender. I mean, if you already know this, disregard, but in case you don't, right in this area right here, right, there's a stud in the fender that goes through there, and you got about this much space to work a wrench back and forth. And it was just, I had the door cocked half open because it kind of created like a little valley to get your arm up and through so that I could hold the wrench, and then with the other hand I like reached around and held it, or the ratchet rather, and then the door started to close. I thought I was going to break my daggum arm. It was just a nightmare, but we're making progress. So I don't know if I got about 2 more hours of sunlight. The old back's starting to get a little sore, but I think I can still get the other fender off, and definitely the hood, because I still got to run up to Walmart and get a car cover for this old girl so that we don't get any water or anything in her. Not that it really matters, because we're redoing everything, so even if she got rained in tonight, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But that's lovely. I guess I got a bent windshield wiper arm, but we're replacing everything. Anyways, just a quick little update. That's where we're at. We're gonna go ahead and start on that side right there. See you in a bit. Well, there we have it. There's the right side. That bolt that I was telling you about on the other side that was difficult, the one that goes right there, it is just as difficult on this side. But you can see this is why I wanted to do this. There's a lot of stuff that needs to come out. I'm going to blow it all out here in just a second. But we're going to go ahead, and when we repaint this thing, I'm going ahead and going to paint all in there too. Get all this cleaned up. And of course, we're going to paint the engine compartment once we get the old engine pulled. But as you can see, she's a little rusty, but I could probably keep all of this if I really wanted to. I don't, but if I wanted to, I could. That ain't nothing but a control arm and a shock, but she's a little too rusty for my liking, and I don't want to do any sandblasting, mostly because I don't have one. So to me, it just makes more sense to just buy a kit, get the left side and the right side, and get all new rubber, new shocks, and just do what we can to make her just look as absolutely good as possible, But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and paint I'm going to clean all this up, and we're going to paint this thing just everywhere. just absolutely do everything we can to keep any rust from forming in the future. So next is this bumper. Now here's more of this just great work that this person did. Why would you not just put the bolt back? That's your bumper, you know? If you get in a wreck and you got one bolt, I mean, maybe that would work, but I don't know. What do y'all think? Would you be comfortable riding around with one bolt holding your front bumper on? I wouldn't. So, since I'm having so much trouble getting the bumper off from the front, I think what I'll do is just go ahead and zip that other bolt out if it comes out easily, and do the same on the other side, and then just carry that entire piece to the old shop. That way, if I have to take the old cutoff wheel, I can do it from the back side. And what I was gonna do, I was thinking at first is just, you know, cut a little zing, little straight line, and try to put like a flathead in to keep it from spinning. But you know, I don't have the steadiest hand, so I'd probably mess something up. There's a little bit of issue right here, and I don't know if I want to spend the money to re-chrome these bumpers or not. So some of y'all might not like what I do with it, but I'm probably just going to paint them. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe once, since the bumpers will go on last, once the car is painted, maybe I'll just set the bumper on there and kind of visualize what it would look like if it was painted. But I'm going to get a lot of flack from the Mopar community if I do that, because they just love their chrome bumpers. But chrome bumpers come with a hefty price when you have to get them re-chromed. So I don't know, maybe I can get like a little touch-up kit or something. I really don't want to do that. I want it done right, but you know, for the time being anyways. But anyways, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and get this bumper off and get this old hood off, and then I'm going to join back up with y'all. See you in a bit. Well, carrying that heavy bumper all the way down to the old shop really tiring old boy out. So I'm going to take a little break real quick and sip on a little cold drink. But I just wanted to let some of y'all know that are considering doing something like this and don't think you can or don't have the tools. I'm doing this in my backyard, and you know, the only thing that I really have for tools is an impact and a drill and a couple drills, a basic Craftsman mechanic tool kit. You know, let me think here. You know, grinders, things like that. I don't have a lift. I don't even have jack stands right now. So, you know, I was able to do all this with basically no knowledge on these A-body Mopar vehicles, just by looking at things and figuring them out. So, you know, what I wanted to say is that if you're thinking about doing something like this, or you've always wanted to do it, just give it a shot. You know, tag everything, bag everything. A little thing that I like to do is anytime I take a part off, any bolts that came with it, I don't know what sourcing some of this stuff is going to be like. I'm assuming that bolts and whatnot are going to be easy to get. But what I like to do is take a little bit of wire and put the bolts in a Ziploc baggie and run a wire through it and then tie it to the part that I just took off. Because rather than labeling it and having to dig through a box of bags of bolts and nuts or retaining clips or whatever, you know, it's connected to it. So it makes it a little bit easier. I feel like that's just the way I like to do things. But yeah, I just wanted to take a second and just let y'all know that, you know, if I'm out here doing this, y'all can be out here doing it. So, all right, well, it's time to get this hood off. I'll catch up with y'all in a bit. Well, everyone, as you can see, the hood is gone. Got it off, and today was a big success. I got everything done for this episode that I was hoping to get done. You know, like I said, I wanted to get that back glass out. I wanted to get the trunk lid off. I wanted to get the hood off. I wanted to get this one and that one fender off and get the whole front end off. So we're looking good. I think we're going to be at a stopping point for the day. I got about 7.5 more seconds of daylight than I did yesterday or the day before. I don't remember. Whatever day it was. So I think what I should do now is I'm going to head on up to Walmart or old AutoZone and get me a car cover and figure out what I'm going to do next time I'm tinkering on it. You know, I think what makes the most sense to me is there we are, right there. Start taking this old girl apart so we can go ahead and get this engine pulled. I think what I'm going to do is I'll take the heads off, take the intake off, get the water pump and everything off, so that all I got to lift is basically the block and the crank and the pistons, because I don't have a cherry picker or an engine stand. So I'm going to use some 4x4s to make an A-frame to pull this engine. And then that'll let me start cleaning everything up and working on the engine compartment here. And then the engine can sit in the old shop and I can start working on this body and getting it straight and you know, go from there. Because I think I've decided I'm definitely going to go ahead, definitely going to replace that floor pan. I just, you know, I don't feel comfortable just patching it. So at some point we're going to do that. I've never done one of those before, so that'll be interesting. And then, yeah, we're going to keep on chugging along. So next episode, I'll probably just set the camera up, and that way y'all can watch me do a little wrenching on the old engine and go from there. And it should be a lot of fun. So until next time, guys, have a good one.